started like any other peaceful morning show. The lights were bright, the studio calm, and the hosts were smiling, chatting about royal family updates. The audience at home expected an easy segment, maybe something about a charity project or a new photo of the Sussexes. Nothing controversial, nothing serious. Then Angela Levin walked in. Angela wasn't just another guest. She had been reporting on the royals for decades. People in the palace knew her name. She was known for being sharp, fearless, and direct. Some respected her, others feared her, but one thing was sure. When she spoke, people listened. That morning, she looked confident, almost too calm, like someone who had something important to say. The hosts welcomed her warmly. The conversation started normally, about the state of the royal family, the public's interest in them, and how Harry and Meghan were settling into life outside the palace. But then, out of nowhere, Angela said something that changed the mood in the room completely. She said there were serious questions about the births of Archie and Lilibet, and those questions had never been answered publicly. For a moment, silence filled the air. The hosts looked confused. One of them gave a nervous laugh, trying to move on, but Angela didn't stop.
She continued calmly, explaining that royal births were always documented in a strict,
traditional way, official doctors' signatures, hospital bulletins, and formal announcements displayed outside Buckingham Palace. She reminded everyone that this wasn't just about tradition. These steps were part of the legal process that confirmed royal legitimacy. She then compared this with how Harry and Meghan handled the births of their children. No hospital photos, no official doctor's statement, no clear confirmation from the palace. Everything had been done privately, far from the public eye. Angela said that this level of secrecy was unusual and, in her words, invited questions. She didn't raise her voice or show anger. She spoke slowly, almost like she wanted people to think about what she was really saying. The hosts were visibly uncomfortable. They exchanged quick glances, unsure how to respond. Angela kept going, saying that when royal traditions are broken, it can create uncertainty about the royal line. These traditions, she explained, are not just ceremony. They exist to protect trust in the monarchy. Without them, people start to wonder why things were done differently. That was the sentence that set everything off. Viewers at home paused. Some reached for their phones. The clip spread online within minutes. The interview that started as a polite conversation turned into something much bigger. Headlines appeared instantly. Angela Levin questions royal birth details. Royal expert drops shock claim about Archie. And was the royal protocol ignored? Online discussions exploded. Some defended Harry and Meghan immediately, saying they had every right to protect their privacy after years of media intrusion. Others argued that royal duties come with transparency. If you accept royal titles, one tweet said, you can't hide royal births. The argument spread fast across platforms, across countries. People began digging through old news articles from the time Archie was born. They compared it with how William and Kate announced their children's births. Photos showed William and Kate standing outside the hospital, smiling, hours after the birth. For Archie, there were no such pictures. The announcement came later, and it felt different, shorter, more controlled, and unusually private. That difference became the center of attention. By mid-morning, Angela Levin's name was trending worldwide. Social media split into two sides. Some called her brave, praising her for speaking up about something everyone was thinking. Others called her cruel for dragging children into public speculation. Comment sections filled with heated arguments, theories, and jokes. It wasn't just royal fans anymore. Even casual viewers were watching and reacting. News anchors replayed the clip. Analysts gave opinions, and talk shows turned it into their top story. People online started timing old footage, matching Meghan's public appearances with the supposed pregnancy timeline. Some claimed inconsistencies. Others dismissed them. The debate turned obsessive. Behind the scenes, royal insiders reportedly panicked. No one had expected Angela to say something so bold on live TV. Palace aides knew that once this kind of story spread, it would be impossible to control. Even an official denial could make things worse. The best they could do was stay silent and hope the storm passed. But that silence only made people more suspicious. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, Harry and Meghan were waking up to the chaos. At first, they thought it was another exaggerated news cycle, something that would fade by evening. But as they checked their phones, they saw how fast it was spreading. Every major outlet had their names in the headlines. Every trending topic mentioned Archie. Every comment section was full of speculation about their family. For Harry, it was infuriating. After years of trying to escape royal media pressure, here he was again, dragged back into it. And this time, it wasn't just about him or Meghan. It was about his children. Friends close to the couple said he was angry and deeply hurt. Meghan, they said, was more anxious than angry. She feared how this story could affect her children's lives years from now, but the internet doesn't care about feelings. Once a topic starts trending, it takes on a life of its own. The more people talk, the more others join in. Influencers, bloggers, and YouTube creators started making videos with headlines like "What Angela Levin Really Meant" or "The Hidden Story Behind Archie's Birth." Each one added a little twist, a little drama, something that made people click. Within hours, the story became a wildfire. What made this moment powerful was Angela's tone. She hadn't shouted. She hadn't accused. She'd simply asked questions that felt calm but heavy. The way she said them made it sound like she knew something more, like there was a truth hidden beneath the surface. That's what made viewers believe her. She didn't need evidence. She just needed curiosity and timing. By the afternoon, major publications were calling it the story of the week. Some journalists criticized Angela, saying she crossed ethical lines. Others defended her, arguing that her job was to ask uncomfortable questions. But even her critics couldn't deny one thing. Her words had shaken the royal image once again, and deep down, people were fascinated. Royal scandals always draw attention, but this one was different. It touched something sensitive: family, lineage, and trust. These weren't issues that could be solved with a simple press release. The moment you question a royal birth, you're questioning history itself. As the day went on, even international outlets began covering it. American, Canadian, and Australian channels replayed the clip with subtitles. Some called it a media bombshell, others used softer words like controversial theory. But they all agreed on one thing: the world was watching. Inside Harry's home, the mood grew tense. Meghan reportedly tried to stay calm, but Harry's frustration was visible. He was angry that someone could question something so private and important. Angry that no matter how far they tried to move away from royal life, the past kept finding them. Angry that once again he couldn't protect his family from the spotlight. By night, social media was still buzzing. Millions had seen the clip. Some demanded official clarification. Others just wanted the drama to continue. Every time someone tried to fact-check or explain, 10 more rumors appeared. It became impossible to separate truth from speculation. That's how one short interview turned into a full-blown crisis. One calm statement became a wave of noise that no one could stop. Angela Levin had only spoken for a few minutes, but her words had done what even tabloids couldn't. They reopened questions everyone thought were settled, and while the media celebrated their new story, Harry sat in silence, realizing something painful. No matter how much he spoke about privacy, no matter how far he moved, one rumor could still turn his life upside down. The storm had begun, and it was only getting stronger. Part 2. Harry's breaking point. The next morning, the story was everywhere. Every headline, every feed, all repeating the same claim. Angela Levin questions the births of Archie and Lilibet. The clip had gone viral overnight. Harry woke up early, grabbed his phone, and saw his name trending again. It wasn't about charity or royal work. It was about his children. His jaw tightened as he scrolled through endless posts and videos. Meghan entered the room, coffee in hand. "It's bad, isn't it?" she asked quietly. Harry didn't answer. The short clip from Angela's interview was everywhere, reposted, analyzed, twisted. Some said she was exposing hidden truths. Others said she crossed a moral line. Either way, the damage was done. Their PR team called constantly. The advice was the same: stay quiet. It'll fade. But Harry couldn't. He felt attacked. "This isn't just gossip," he said. "They're questioning my family." Within hours, his lawyers began drafting cease and desist letters. Networks, blogs, even YouTube channels received warnings. But online, silence looked like guilt. The harder Harry pushed, the more people shared the clip. Hashtags like #ImRoyalTruth and your Angela Levin interview climbed the charts. One viral post read, "If it's not true, why is Harry reacting this hard?" That single sentence flipped public opinion. At home, tension thickened. Meghan tried to stay calm, focusing on the kids, but the anxiety was visible. Paparazzi parked outside. Reporters shouted questions whenever Harry stepped out. When he ignored them, the photos were worse. Furious Harry snaps at press. Each image made him look more defensive. Meanwhile, legal experts debated on television. Some said Angela hadn't broken any law, only asked tough questions. Others warned that her words implied too much. Every show, every opinion kept the story alive. Even palace officials debated if they should issue a statement, but decided against it. Silence, they hoped, would end it. It didn't. In the US, talk shows turned it into entertainment. Some hosts defended Harry. Others mocked him. Angela Levin appeared again, calm and confident, saying, "I only asked questions. If everything's fine, there's nothing to hide." That line spread like wildfire. By evening, Harry sat in silence, staring at his phone. He saw edited clips, fake timelines, and cruel jokes. It reminded him of everything he'd tried to escape: the media circus, the relentless judgment, the feeling of being trapped. Megan placed a hand on his shoulder but didn't speak. There was nothing to say. Their spokesperson finally released a short statement. The Duke and Duchess will not comment on speculation. It was meant to close the topic, but it only fueled it. The internet took that as confirmation something was wrong. Within days, the pressure became unbearable. The couple stayed inside. Friends said Megan was exhausted and Harry looked angry all the time. Every move they made became a headline. Every silence became proof. Angela continued giving interviews. She repeated, "I didn't accuse, I only questioned." Her calmness made Harry's reaction look worse. The contrast between her composure and his anger turned public sympathy against him. For Harry, the realization hit hard. He couldn't control the story anymore. No matter what he said or did, people had already decided what to believe. The more he tried to protect his family, the more exposed they became. That night, he sat quietly, watching the lights from paparazzi cameras outside his window. He had fought so hard to keep his life private. But one interview had changed everything. His silence, meant to protect, now felt like surrender, and in that silence, the world kept talking for him. Part 3. The fallout days passed, but the noise refused to fade. What began as one interview had now become a global story. News anchors discussed it daily. Talk shows turned it into entertainment. Every podcast, YouTube channel, and gossip page had something to say about Angela Levin's claims. For Harry, it felt like the walls were closing in. People weren't just asking questions anymore. They were drawing conclusions. Some online commentators made charts comparing timelines and photos. Others claimed to find clues that supported Angela's story. It didn't matter that most of it was guesswork. The internet had already decided there was something suspicious. Royal experts stepped in to explain why royal birth protocols mattered so much. They said it wasn't just about tradition, it was about trust. Every royal birth was supposed to be witnessed, documented, and confirmed to maintain the line of succession. When Harry and Meghan chose to keep things private, they unknowingly broke centuries of public expectation. Now that choice was haunting them. Inside their home, things were tense. Meghan tried to stay off social media, but people kept sending her updates anyway. Friends said she looked tired and quiet, worried about how far things could go. Harry was worse. Every time he saw a new headline, he felt the anger rise again. But he also knew that another outburst would only feed the fire. Their team suggested doing a calm, pre-recorded interview to clarify the facts. Meghan hesitated. "Every time we talk," she said, "they twist our words." So they stayed silent. But silence didn't help. It made the story stronger. Each day without a response made people believe there was something to hide. Meanwhile, Angela Levin became the most talked-about journalist in Britain. She appeared on more shows repeating the same line. "I didn't accuse anyone. I just asked questions." Her calm tone made her sound reasonable, while Harry's silence made him look defensive. Comment sections exploded with arguments. Half the audience believed Angela was exposing the truth. The other half thought she was exploiting the couple for fame. But either way, everyone kept watching. The debate itself became entertainment. Then came the memes. Pictures of Harry looking frustrated were turned into jokes. TV hosts made sarcastic remarks about royal secrets. It wasn't cruel at first, but soon it became mocking. What had started as a media story turned into public humiliation. The palace eventually released a short statement. "The Duke and Duchess of Sussex will not be commenting on speculation." But that didn't calm anyone. It sounded vague, official, and cold. People took it as a sign that the rumors were true. Over the next week, international headlines kept spinning the same story. Royal mystery deepens. Angela Levin doubles down. Even serious newspapers covered it. The Sussex team tried redirecting attention with charity updates, but no one cared. The world had moved from sympathy to curiosity. At night, Harry sat quietly by the window, watching the flashes of cameras outside. Meghan joined him, holding his hand. "We can't keep doing this," she whispered. He nodded, but said nothing. They both knew there was no winning here. If they fought, they'd look guilty. If they ignored it, the story would never die. For Harry, it was the same painful cycle: headlines, pressure, and helplessness. He had left royal life to escape this, but somehow it had followed him. The story wasn't about truth anymore. It was about perception. Once public doubt begins, it never fully disappears. Weeks later, new scandals appeared in the news. The attention slowly shifted elsewhere, but the damage remained. For many people, the question Angela had raised still lingered quietly in the back of their minds. Harry learned something bitter through it all. In the modern world, silence doesn't protect you. It only gives others more space to write your story for you. As the final headlines faded, one thing was clear. Angela Levin had sparked a storm that changed how people looked at Harry forever. Whether she was right or wrong no longer mattered. What mattered was how easily doubt had replaced trust. And as the cameras outside their home turned off one by one, Harry realized that some storms don't end with truth. They end with exhaustion.